Understanding bass loop in English. Hello dear learners. Today, we're diving into the world of music and language by discussing the phrase bass loop. If you've ever wondered about its meaning or how it's used, this is the video for you. To fully grasp the meaning of bass loop, let's break it down word by word. 1. Bass. This refers to low-frequency sounds in music. When you hear deep and low tones in a song, that's the bass. It's also an instrument that produces such sounds, like the bass guitar. 2. Loop. In the context of music, a loop is a short section of sound that is repeatedly played. Think of it as a cycle of sound that goes on and on. So, when combined, bass loop means a repetitive cycle of low-frequency sound. It's a common term in music production where a certain bass sequence is repeated to create rhythm or foundation for a track. To understand any phrase, it's beneficial to see how it's used in sentences. Here are some examples. 1. I used a bass loop to start my new track. 2. The song has a catchy bass loop that makes you want to dance. 3. Can you send me the bass loop you mentioned earlier? From the examples, we can see that bass loop can refer to an element in a song or a tool used in music production. To give a broader understanding, bass loop is related to terms like drum loop or melody loop. While bass loop focuses on a low-frequency repetitive sound, drum loop would be about repetitive drum patterns and melody loop about repeating melodic sequences. It's also worth noting the term sample. A sample is a small portion of sound taken from another musical recording. Sometimes, bass loops can be samples from other tracks. And that wraps up our discussion on bass loop. We've learned that it's a repetitive low-frequency sound in music, commonly used to set the rhythm or foundation in a track. Whether you're jamming to a tune or trying your hand at music production, the next time you come across a deep, repetitive rhythm, you'll know it's the magic of a bass loop. Happy learning and keep exploring the beauty of language and music.